There are only 5 things that need to happen to study in Austria: university, financial proof, accommodation, residence permit, and a visa to travel. If you miss any one of these, your entire plan collapses. You lose a semester, sometimes even an entire year. And the reason most students struggle is not because Austria is impossible, it's because they misunderstand the process. Most students try to figure it out from random blogs, confusing YouTube videos, or an advice from friends. And once you understand the structure, your entire process becomes much clearer. My name is Shelby, founder of Shelby Immigration. Over the years, we have helped over 1,500 students successfully move to Austria. And after reviewing thousands of applications by myself, the structure comes down to the same 5 phases. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the same 5 phases. By the end of this video, you will understand how to choose the right university, what financial proof Austria requires, how the residence permit works, and what happens after you arrive in Austria. If you understand all these steps, you'll be ahead of most applicants. Let's start with phase 1. First phase is choosing the right university. This is where I have personally seen most students make mistake. They choose university based on ranking or their friend recommended it, instead of asking the much important question: does this program actually fit my profile? In Austria, most students apply to public universities. They offer strong academic education and affordable tuition fee. And for the non-EU students, the tuition fee is around 726 euros per semester. But the real decision isn't just the university, it's the program itself. Because each program has different requirements, different academic criteria, and different language expectations. Once you identify the right program, the next step is to apply for admission. Most of the universities in Austria have their own application system, and typical documents include your academic transcripts, your passport, your language certificate, and sometimes your documents needs to be translated. Now here's something important many students misunderstand. Admission itself isn't the hardest part. The real complexity begins after getting your admission letter, and which brings us to phase 3. Austria requires students to show that they can financially support themselves through their entire studies. This is called financial proof. And I have seen personally many students think that showing money in their account is enough. But you need to understand what they are looking for. What Austrian authorities look for is where the money comes from and how it is documented, and whether your financial situation makes sense to study in Austria or no. That's the only thing they're looking for. This is where the most students make the most mistakes, because the documentation needs to be clear and properly structured. After admission and financial proof, the next step is to apply for Austrian residence permit for students. This permit itself allows you to legally stay in Austria. The application usually includes your admission letter, financial documents, accommodation, health insurance, and supporting documents. Unlike many other countries, Austria requires you to apply for a residence permit and get approved before you travel, and which makes the preparation extremely important. Once your residence permit is approved, then you will apply for your visa. You'll be receiving a visa type D, which allows you to legally enter to Austria. And here comes the part after arriving. After arriving, you need to complete the final steps. Firstly, you need to register your address, and after address, just go and activate your health insurance. And after that, enroll to your university and take all 3 of these documents to your local magistrate in order to collect your residence permit. And at this point, your student life in Austria officially begins. And I have personally seen thousands of students having the same misunderstanding, that is, admission is the final goal. But studying in Austria is the multi-phase process, and the admission is the first step. And there is a Shelby quote and saying that goes like, students who succeed are the ones who understand the entire process before they start. After that being said, if you're planning to study in Austria and want to understand how your personal situation fits into the process, then you can create free Shelby student account on our website. Inside the portal, we break down everything step by step. And if you're still confused, you can book a strategy call and then we can discuss your personal profile. Studying in Austria can be an incredible opportunity. But like any structured system, it rewards preparation. Understand the process, plan carefully, and take the right steps. You have the plan, now make it happen. As always, watching you from far and rooting for you. See you guys in the next video.